A data flow diagram is a visual representation of how data is transferred within a system or organization. They do not show decision logic or sequencing, but focus on where data comes from, where it's going, and how it is processed. Data flow diagrams are typically categorized into level 0 and level 1 formats, which differ based on complexity. Be aware that there are several notations for data flow diagrams which use different shapes for each component. This video uses the shapes identified by OCR in their scheme of work and course textbook. Starting with a process, which is a circle or potentially a rounded rectangle, which is a functional task the system will perform, such as verify login. External entities are squares, and these are people or systems outside the scope of the system that interact with it, such as a user or bank. Data stores are open rectangles. This is where data is actually held, such as a customer database. And data flow is represented by labeled arrows. These show the movement of specific data between processes, stores, and entities. Level 0 data flow diagrams show the transfer of data in a simple manner. Often, a level 0 diagram may show the entire system as a single generalized process for a more basic overview. Level 1 data flow diagrams show the transfer of data in a more detailed manner. Processes are shown separately for a more complex and realistic overview. So in level 0, it will have a general overview with one process to introduce the system to stakeholders, and it's suitable for non-technical clients. Level 1 is a more detailed breakdown showing key sub-processes. It guides developers in design and is suitable for developers and analysts. Here's an example of a level 0 data flow diagram to show the process of an employee submitting an application to be promoted. The labeled arrows are showing the actual data that is being used. So an employee is sending the promotion application. The employee history is being taken from the employee database, and the assistant manager is sending over a recommendation. These three pieces of data then form the process, which is to review the application. Following that, the data is the application outcome, which is sent to the manager. In this level 1 data flow diagram, the individual processes have been expanded from a level 0 version to show how the application must first be signed off by an administrator before it's reviewed by management. There's a new process here, submit application, and a new external entity, which is the human resources officer. Data flow diagrams are most appropriate during the planning and analysis phases, especially when understanding how data flows in a system, clarifying system boundaries and interactions, designing or redesigning information systems, and communicating with non-technical stakeholders. To create a data flow diagram, start by identifying external entities, which are users or systems interacting with the software. List the main processes the system must perform. Determine what data flows between entities, processes, and data stores. Draw a level 0 data flow diagram first. Sometimes this is known as a context diagram, showing the system as one single process. Then expand processes into more detailed level 1 data flow diagrams as needed, and make sure you use standard symbols and clear labeling. Data flow diagrams are easy to read with consistent symbols and meaningful labels to give context. They show realistic movement of data and interaction throughout the diagram. They match audience understanding with the correct level of detail. For example, high level, level 0 for managers, and detailed level 1 for developers. And higher levels cover all data inputs, entities, stores, and processes. To improve the effectiveness of a data flow diagram, use consistent naming and symbols throughout. Avoid overloading diagrams and break them into levels to show complexity. Provide supporting explanations or annotations, consider the audience and simplify for non-technical users or provide more detail for technical staff, and use tools for neat editable diagrams.